Hello, my name is Agasada, and Kirby Air Ride is my favorite game on the GameCube. While all my friends are fiending over Mario Kart, I was playing City Trial Mode, and always felt like this game didn't get enough attention for what it was, being the hidden Battle Royale game before Fortnite was popular, and featuring such in-depth gameplay for a game with just 2 controls. Not to mention the creativity with how different each kart played. Like, you could ride on a speedy triangle that always moved straight, or a heavy motor vehicle that somehow broke the high jump competition. Like, that's so much more exciting than choosing the baby blooper kart because its stat distributions were ideal for races. Sure, competitive balance was a pipe dream in a game like Air Ride where every vehicle was just so unique, but as far as casual party games go, it was just so fun. So imagine my excitement when I hear that the Kirby Air Riders Direct would be happening after months of silence on my freaking birthday. Oh yeah, there was also a Silksong special announcement revealed on my birthday as well, but anyways, Kirby Air Riders, yeah! I got up super early that day, as in I basically pulled an all-nighter since I couldn't contain my excitement, to watch that direct at 6 AM my time. And holy crap, the game reveal was everything I wished for and even more. I mean it when I say I was pogging my ass off like a fucking kid on Christmas watching this direct. Hell, I can even show you proof because I live streamed it all on Twitch. You can find the VOD link in the description. But anyhow, now that the initial wow, this game is fantastic hype that I have felt has been processed in my brain a little, I wanted to break down all the cool stuff we have seen in this direct so far, alongside some stuff I am a little worried might have been cut from the final product. Dragoon, my beloved, where are you? This video might age like milk once the game actually releases and all of my concerns will be shoved in the gutter, but hey, either way, I just really want to talk about this because holy shit am I excited for Air Riders. So, there were a lot of good things in this direct, the main one being that this game is just so clearly a passion project by Sakurai himself. I almost feel like it's a reimagining of the original Air Ride, with some new parts and polish that was absent in the first game because of the original game's rushed timeline. Now, seeing as I already have so many great things to say about this game, and I don't really want this to be an hour-long video, I wanted to condense this part into specifically the new stuff we saw in the direct that looks promising. Starting off with the racing mode in the game. Now, the original Air Ride's racing mode was nothing to write home about, but I think the team made some drastic improvements to make the races much more exciting this time around. The first one being that you can freaking tailgate people to gain speed as an intended game mechanic, like catch-up in GTA. You can also, if the option is selected in the settings, just straight up destroy someone's vehicle during a race and kick them out of the competition, and this is just so funny to me that I'm fully here for it. Look at how happy he is to lose. Look at him. You can also choose other characters and give them any of the game's vehicles, which is a nice improvement from the original game, where you didn't get to pick a kart. DDD was just on his trusty wheelie that was also in Kirby Superstar Ultra, and Meta Knight just flew around, because wings. I also find it fucking hilarious that each character has their own animation for swallowing a copy ability. Like Chef Kawasaki will use his ladle to copy an ability, but Meta Knight will just straight up mug someone. And also Meta Knight can get a sword ability even though he already has a sword. Guess bro's just aura farming at this point. Either way, even though Air Ride mode in this game is a lot better, at least gameplay-wise, I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little disappointed by some of the maps. I don't know if it's just my nostalgia speaking here, but I remember there being so many iconic things in the original Air Ride's maps, like the lava dragons and magma caverns, and those weird egg things in Celestial Valley, and even the Ferris wheel in Beanstalk Park. The maps look alright in Air Riders, and the graphics are really nice, but nothing really stands out. Kinda just looks like your standard Mario Kart maps. I do really hope that the new maps have as much character as the original maps did. I know it's a tall order, but man, it would make the experience like 10 times better. That's pretty much where my negativity about the new Air Ride mode comes to an end though. It's not like that many people cared about Air Ride mode in the original, but I'm pretty glad that the developers tried to make it more exciting and fleshed out, even though it's mostly a nice to have rather than a necessity. I am also really glad that most of the original vehicles still exist in this game, although I didn't see Wheelie Scooter, which was my favorite vehicle in the original game, so I really hope they didn't butcher that one. I also didn't know where else to bring this up in the video, but Top Ride was not mentioned at all in this direct, so just a moment of silence for the Top Ride fans that didn't see the game mode revived. Okay, I'm pretty sure no Top Ride fans exist, so that's long enough. Anyway, let's talk about the best part of this game now, City Trial, and boy do I have a lot to say. So, this is the main appeal of Kirby Air Ride. Sakurai knows it, the fans know it, we all know this would make or break whether or not Kirby Air Riders is a good game. While I do feel like a lot of Air Riders content is not super breakthrough in creativity, and most of the stuff we have seen has been derivative of the original game, I am of the mindset that remastering the original Kirby Air Ride is not a bad thing. Especially considering the fact that there has been nothing from the series in the past 20 years. I understand if this was a Nintendo staple game like Mario Kart, that new gimmicks would need to be added to keep the game fresh, but this is fucking Kirby Air Ride, man! At least 90% of the people hyped for this game are fans of the original game, and are just happy to see something on their plate. Honestly, make a remaster. Most people here are trying to recapture the spark they had when playing the original City Trial anyways. When I think back to what I wanted from the original City Trial mode as a kid, honestly, I didn't have too much. I obviously wished for just more, right? Like more maps, more secrets, more events, more characters. And well, all I can say for certain is that there are more characters. I'm still a little torn on if having multiple maps in a game mode like City Trial would actually make for a better experience. The new City Trial map looks great, and possibly is a little larger than the original, which makes sense, considering you can have up to 16 players on the map. Which, for what it's worth, I think is a good change, because in the OG City Trial, you wouldn't really see other players too much, everyone just kinda did their own thing. But in this version, it seems that characters would be interacting with each other a lot more. Overall, the new City Trial looks really solid, and seems to very elegantly capture the original game's mission, although it is a little derivative. Alright, so now here are my concerns as an OG fan. I would like to mention that these concerns might end up completely untrue, since there is still apparently more content to be revealed. But, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get started with the concerns. I know I mentioned Wheelie Scooter offhandedly earlier in the video, but there is another much bigger worry I have about the vehicles. The Direct did not show any footage of the legendary vehicles. For context, in the original game, during City Trial you could pick up parts for a legendary vehicle. There were two legendary vehicles in the game. The Hydra, which had a huge tank, HP, offense, and a very high speed stat, and the Dragoon, which had practically infinite flight time. Some Smash Bros. Fans might remember Dragoon as an item you could collect. Yeah, Kirby Air Ride was where that item originated from, in case you were curious. I remember the legendary items being such a huge part of the original City Trial. Like, when my friend picked up a legendary vehicle part, I was pretty much gunning them down so I could steal it, since riding one of those really improved your chances of winning the final event. Speaking of the final event, or as Sakurai calls them, the stadiums, I find it very bizarre that players can vote on which event to do at the end. I will probably turn this setting off when I play, thank god I can do that, since a big part of the fun for me was playing City Trial, then seeing the stadium hint, and possibly changing my vehicle to prepare for that. Being able to select the stadium ruined some of that fun for me. So, those are my two main concerns about City Trial. I'm not sure about the legendary vehicles, so I could be proven wrong about that once the game actually comes out. Now, I have a few more subtle worries, like the existence of boss battles as a stadium event. I remember fighting against DDD as one of the stadium battles, which was pretty fun, although I guess you aren't really competing against your friends when you're all fighting against the same guy, so maybe game design wise, the team just thought it was better to remove that. I was also worried for a brief moment that certain events like tax stealing items wouldn't happen during City Trial, but I did see during a gameplay test that a band of tax is still very much on the run. But what about the Foggy Stage event and its banger soundtrack? God, I find it so funny that a Kirby game had a song like this, not to mention the Mongolian throat singing in Machine Passage. Iconic. Anyways, City Trial overall looks really cool, and I hope that the new stuff they introduced is enough to display some of the holes in my heart that the Direct left me with about some of the original features. And I really hope legendary vehicles still exist. Please, I want to ride in Dragoon again. Now for the more miscellaneous gameplay things that I didn't know where else to put in this video. First of all, Kowalski, they added a second button. Okay. I do feel like there is a certain charm in having a game where the buttons are only A to boost and turn the control stick, and I could see the pain in Sakurai's eyes when he said that they added a second button. It so clearly goes against what he kinda hoped for with the simple elegance of the game, but I think it's an alright decision. It makes the game a little less clunky with the ride switching. I feel pretty about the final Smash-like attacks that characters can do, but I don't think it disrupts the gameplay too much. Another feature we did not see in this Direct was the achievement board. I always found the achievement board design so silly in the original game, where you could only see the next unlocks after unlocking certain achievements, and you could straight up buy achievements with purple squares to unlock things that were too cringe to unlock otherwise. Even if it's not the most efficient way to do achievements in this game, it certainly was creative. But yeah, I'm definitely curious about how Air Riders will be tackling this. The other feature I did not see in the Direct was the City Trial Freeplay mode. I enjoy just kind of exploring the City Trial map in freeplay with whichever vehicle I prefer, but I am not fully sure if that mode is coming back. Once again, these are more minor things that I wouldn't even say is a negative so much as well, this feature might have been removed from the new Air Riders. Kirby Air Ride was by no means a perfect game with the way it approached things, so for all I know, it could be better to remove these. Overall, Kirby Air Riders seems to be an excellent reimagining of the original Kirby Air Ride game, with some new features, but not drifting too far away from the source material. I think it looks amazing, and will definitely play it as soon as it releases, since it just looks so fun. I still find it just so surreal that a new Kirby Air Ride game has been released after 20 years of silence. While I have the smallest amount of concerns about this game, it is by no means a deal breaker, and overall, just from the Direct, the game looks incredibly promising. It's so refreshing to see a game like Kirby Air Riders coming out on the Switch too, that is just so clearly a project built out of love. November can't come sooner. I'll definitely be playing and streaming this game on Twitch when it comes out, so if you want to join in on the fun, be sure to follow me there. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I am once again testing a different video format here compared to my gaming highlight or video essays, and your reactions to the video give me a good idea of what I should make in the future. That's about it. Bye-bye!